Hello and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. My name is Leisha. I am a singer-songwriter and I just wanted to go through my goals. I, for some reason, didn't do this last year, but it might have been due to, I was sick over New Year's, but I don't know when I first started getting sick. Anyways, I probably didn't do one last year just because my goals have not really changed much. If you've been following for even like the past couple of months, I know I've had some new people hop on, so thank you so much for joining. I've been working on a 3-part project for over 2 years now, so that's been my main goal, music-wise, so not a lot has changed. So yeah, going into this year, that was just like the main thing is working on that. My biggest priority goal for 2024 is to start releasing the first project. And I don't, obviously as soon as I possibly can, but I have a list of things that I know I need to do, and I'm trying not to release without being prepared, but I'm also trying not to over prepare because I know I just want to get it out there, but I also want to do it justice, so it's like a whole thing. But yeah, that is my main focus. I want, the majority of my time, if I'm working on music, I want it to be spent on trying to release project number 1. But other than that, my ideal situation. So I work a day job, and I don't rely on my music for money because I can't do that yet. Hopefully one day that could be more of a possibility. But so I have limited time to work on music, and because I have to work on music, I have to work a day job, I have to be a human and just live a life as well. I have other interests outside of music, and not even just interests, but just normal human things, hanging out with people and being with my husband and reading and watching movies and all the normal human stuff. So for my ideal music situation is to consistently be in the studio, which I've pretty much done this year, almost without obviously there's been a couple weeks or 2 weeks in between sessions, but pretty much almost every single week this year I've gone into the studio, and there's been a couple times where I've gone twice in a weekend, which kind of makes up for sometimes for a week that I can't go in, and I want to continue that. So even when I'm releasing, I want to consistently be in the studio because I want to get to a point where there's not a huge gap in between releases. So as I'm releasing, project number 1, I'm finalizing project number 2. And as I'm releasing project number 2, I'm finalizing project number 3. And then as I'm releasing project number 3, I'm working on the next thing. Or, I just want to stay on top of it. And I don't want to pressure myself too much to, do that, to a fault. But also, I want to, just consistently be working on it. So, which I have been doing, and I feel through the process of making these projects, this music is a lot different than music I've already put out, because the music that I've already put out was more of I don't know how to be in Nashville. I don't know. I've never been in a studio. I don't know how to do the whole recording thing, and that's kind of how the first EP was. And then with my other 2 singles, it was more experimenting on what I can create digitally. And then since then, I, started doing songwriting on GarageBand, and then I upgraded to Logic, and now I'm kind of in a space where I'm using part Logic, part finding sounds in the studio and incorporating that in. And the whole time there's been instrumental collaboration with Kevin, my engineer. And so, we've been co-producing together. And so, yeah, I totally forgot where I was going with that. So, because I've had this progression with the new music and the way I've been songwriting and being more involved and more understanding the process better, I feel future projects won't have as much figuring things out time. That'll be either I'm going to get to more songs faster, or I'm going to have more creative time to fill that space. I don't know if I explained that correctly, but yeah, I'm not going to because I've worked in Logic now, and I know what we're capable of doing in the studio. I know how to articulate things that I want. I know, how I can bring in other musicians if I need like a session player, things like that. So I know, I got the tools in my tool belt, and I know how to use them. Does that make sense? So yeah, so for the studio, I just want to consistently be in the studio as much as I possibly can, and as much as I can afford, and as much as possible, and it's been really good so far. And yeah, okay, so the next thing would be my voice lessons. So I started taking voice lessons when I lived in New York. I don't know how long I was taking them for, but it was before I moved down here, and I moved to the Nashville area in October of 2018. So, and then in early 2019 is when I got the voice teacher that I have now, and I feel like I'm okay, so I know that I have a good voice. I can confidently say I have a good voice, but I feel like there's still always something I can learn, and I'm also constantly trying to combat my anxiety. And so I feel like I'm still, even it's been 4 years, I feel like I'm still learning things every time, and that's a weekly thing for the most part. And so I'm hoping to try and ask more questions, or present more things to her. I had been sending her my songs so that we could work on specifically my songs, or vocal exercises that will help with those songs. And so I'm hoping to do that more. I get really nervous because music is so vulnerable, and I'm just nervous when people listen to my music for the first time, and it's funny because it's whenever I'm presenting it to someone, it's usually somebody I really care about, and I know that they're not going to harshly judge me or anything, but I get so insecure because I've spent all of this time and effort and into that song, and I'm just nervous, but I'm trying to get over that fear. So hopefully I can still continue to do that. And then also I want to try and bring in more songs that are not mine, that are vocal things that I would like to achieve, if that makes sense, which I've just started to do a little bit. So I'm hoping I can do more of that. Yeah, so I can't really think of anything in particular for a goal for next year, because the main focus is going to be working on all of the content and merch, and obviously finalizing the songs for the first project and releasing. That's just going to be the main thing. Yeah, I did recently file to be an LLC, so I'm hoping to get a little bit more businessy this year in 2024. So I'm hoping that I'm going to do better. And another thing that's going to hopefully help me is, which this is not music related, but related to my music, because my music is all about mental health, and I'm going to be vague about it, but I'm hoping to open up more about my mental health in the future, just not only because I want to open up, I've been doing it a little bit more, but I want to have full videos possibly on my channel about mental health, because I think it's important, and I don't think it hurts to have one more voice in the conversation. And a lot of my music, or most of my music, is about mental health, so it just makes sense. But I have been doing some research on certain mental struggles lately, and I'm thinking I want to look into specific help for that, but I don't want to self-diagnose myself, so I want to talk to a professional about it and see if that's what it might be. And I think self-diagnosis can help to start to maybe kind of get an idea of what you think might be going on, but it's never something you should just like, a professional has to professionally diagnose you with something, and I feel like diagnosis is only helpful if it's going to lead to a treatment that helps you. So I'm going to be looking into that hopefully in January, because I feel like lately I've just had some roadblocks, and I've come a long way with my mental health, and especially in the last couple of years, it's been like significant change. And I think it's just getting into a point where there's some things that I'm unfamiliar with how to make better. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, yeah, I need to look into this too, here's your sign. Go like call a doctor, go do something. A lot of workplaces will have something called EAP, which is Employee Assistant Program, and with that you can often get, like, at least like with my work and my husband's work, you can get 5 free therapy sessions, which is pretty good, especially if you know, therapy is expensive, and sometimes insurance covers, sometimes it doesn't, and that's really helpful to have the 5 free, because you also have to kind of like test out therapists too. So if you like don't like one, you can go to another one. Like 5 free is huge. So definitely look into that. And if you are like under 18, one of your parents might have that under their work program, and that's, or even a spouse. So definitely look into that. That would be my suggestion. I did get a therapist this year, but it didn't work out, and the way the insurance worked, it was weird. But I'm not giving up on it. I constantly want to try and improve my mental health wherever I can. So that's one of my huge goals, and I feel like because of what it is, or what it could be for me personally, I feel like if I can get help in that area, that will help me significantly achieve all of my music goals. So I'm really, really hoping. And even if it's not what I think it is, it would be helpful to talk to someone and maybe figure out maybe if it's something else, or just find something that can help. So those are all my goals for next year. As far as like my filler content, I'm gonna try, I think I'm always gonna do the My Month in Music stuff, because it's just kind of like little random clips from the month, and it's kind of cool because at some point you're gonna see a little bit of background, or a little bit of behind the scenes for my music that's coming out, and you might notice some clips or some things that, you know, you've seen from the past 2 years of like little hints that I've had in my month in musics, which I think is pretty cool. So I want to continue to do that, and I'm probably only going to do filler content until, first of all, as I have the time to do, and then 2, once I start releasing, I'm going to have a lot of content that comes your way. And if you're a casual watcher or listener, you don't have to consume every piece of content that goes with my songs. I'm just trying to put out different kinds of things so I can like build a community around what I am singing about. So I am going to try different things. And as far as like the filler content, I just try to do some things for fun. I know not everybody likes certain kind of videos. I've done some reacting to albums recently, and I know that's not, some people like to watch those, some people don't. I'm just kind of doing them for fun when I can. Those videos are fun to make, but they take a lot to edit, so we'll see. And then I don't have anything to react to currently as to like my old like performances and stuff like that. I still have to find my EP release show footage, so hopefully that's somewhere. I think that would be cool to react to. But if you have any ideas for anything, that you want me to do, music related or not, I know there's a lot of different kinds of content out there, and I just want to provide something that people will want to listen to, because I know what I'm interested in, but I'm not going to upload just so that I can watch it, you know what I mean? So yeah, so if you have anything, and maybe even mental health related topics, I would hope to start doing that. I might structure something in the future of like maybe like a mental health Mondays, or like I try to release on Wednesdays for the most part, so maybe I will just put in a random mental health video here and there. Maybe I'll start by like relating it to things that I wrote in like my other songs, and maybe even songs that I haven't released that I probably won't. Maybe I'll do mental health videos based on that. Let me know what you think, if you have any ideas of what I should do. I'm gonna try my best, but I'm not gonna promise anything either. But I'm determined, and this is what I want to do. Like I tried to start a personal YouTube channel this year, and it just didn't work out. I just don't have the time to film and edit and have a day job and work on music and have a life. Like it's just not possible, and especially like with the mental health struggles, like it's just literally impossible. So, but I've always wanted to do like regular YouTube as well. So I'm hoping someday in the future that's what I'm doing, is YouTube or something kind of like in that same vein, or like a podcast, or whatever fits at that time, and music. So yeah, those are my goals. If you have any goals for 2024, let me know. Or if you're not a goal person, let me know. Maybe you're looking forward to something in particular in 2024. Just let me know. Or just say anything related to this video in the comments. Let me know what I want to get to know my audience more. So if you're comfortable with commenting, please do so. Yeah, so I guess that's it for now, and I will see you in my next video.